Hey, Zara! What is this I hear about you living in a fancy new condo building right about the metro stop? What happened? What kind of tricks did you use to land such an amazing place to live?
I didn't use any kind of trick, thank you very much. I pay for that place and so I get to live in it. It really is just that simple.
But what I want to know is how you can afford to pay the rent in such a place like that. I just happened to be out in the city doing some shopping when I saw you go into that huge condo building. At first I thought I must have been seeing things, but it was really you. I'm sure of it.
Well, that would make sense considering the fact that I'm living there now. I told you earlier about how I was going to be getting married to my boyfriend, right? Well, we did that, and we moved into this place to live together.
So then you've been living there since you got married? And does that mean that it's your boyfriend who makes you enough money to let you live there? That's amazing! I had no idea about any of this.
What do you mean?
I mean, how did a shabby basic girl like you land such a great guy? I could only ever see you getting with someone on your level, but instead you managed to find a guy rich and nice enough to let you live in a big condo with him. Just how did you find a guy like that?
Okay, Mom, you really need to calm down for just a little bit. First of all, it isn't my husband who's paying for this place. I am.
Oh, please. Do you think I'm going to buy that? You've always been such a fussy girl and you never even went to college. Do you really think I'm going to believe that you can afford to rent at a place like that?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
You've always been such a difficult girl to deal with, ever since you were little. Do you know that? I was ready to send you to any of the best schools in the country, but you said that you wanted to start working already, and so you did, just that, after high school. But I said, fine, just as long as you live at home until you earn some savings. But then you just moved out and never came back. Do you have any idea how worried I was when you hardly ever called me? And now the only reason I know when you're living now is just by complete chance.
You really haven't changed at all, have you, Mom? It's clear that you've already made up your mind about what's going on in my life, and I don't see the point in saying anything more.
I just want to know how my no-good daughter ended up with such a good man. It sounds to me like you would have been better off marrying someone like your little sister, Rita.
Excuse me? Did you really just say that?
Well, Rita is nothing like you. She was actually a good girl and very easy to deal with. Not to mention the fact that she would actually listen to me and went to college when I offered it to her. And now she's my pride and joy who works for one of the largest companies in the country. If only she could find a man just as good as she is, then things would be perfect.
Oh, so you mean that your perfect other daughter still hasn't found a man? Maybe you should just find one for her since you handed Rita everything on a silver platter. I'm sure she'd love to get married to whatever man you picked out for her.
I bet you think you're so clever talking to me like that. Well, you just wait until I do find a man for your sister. Because it's obvious to me that I can't count on you for anything. It's no wonder you'll never be truly happy.
Hey, Zara, is everything okay? Mom is grumbling about you a lot more than usual today, and I was wondering if something happened between you two.
Yes, we had a talk. More like a fight, but I'm used to it now. Is Mom really making that big of a deal of it back at the house?
Well, she's stomping around and slamming things on the table and kind of just acting like a big baby. And earlier she asked me if I wanted to find a boyfriend, and then she showed me all these pictures of guys who I guess she's ready to try and set me up with. She said something about having to one-up you and get married quickly. Well, she said she wanted me to find a better husband than you as fast as I could. Can you believe that?
Oh, jeez. Mom really needs to learn to chill out sometimes. I wonder if she even realizes how she sounds saying those sorts of things.
But I also heard from Mom that you and your husband have moved into this really cool condo building. I think that might have been what set it off for Mom. Not only did she not know you were married, but you married rich and didn't tell her.
Well, I'm sorry that you're always getting sucked into this drama between Mum and I. I always feel bad for how much trouble I've probably caused you with all of this.
Zara, I really don't think that you have anything to apologize for at all. In fact, if anything, I'm the one who should be worrying about you. I mean, I know you two are already legally married, but are you sure that you want to have your wedding be just the two of you?
Well, I don't really think that Mum would even want to come to something like that. And if I just invited you and Dad, then it would be a mess for everyone involved. I've already explained about our family to my husband, and he says that he understands, and it's okay doing a tiny wedding with just us.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure with you. But in that case, I'll swing by sometime soon, and with your wedding presents, of course. Plus, I want to see this huge condo that you're living in.
Yes, please. You have to come and see it. We're pretty busy still unpacking since we literally just moved in, but once we've got some of that done, I'd love for you to come see it. You and your boyfriend are welcome to come in here at any time.
I can't wait! Just let me know when it's a good time to come over, okay? We have to have a little party to celebrate a new house and a wedding soon.
Hello, Zara. I have something that I'd like to talk to you about, and I'm wondering if now is a good time.
Hello, Mum. This is a weird way for you to start a conversation with me, but okay. What's up?
You really just want to cut right to the chase, don't you? Okay then. Zara, I want you to let Rita marry your fiancé. It's clear to me that whoever this guy is, he's a better match for Rita than he is you.
You want me to let Rita marry my fiancé? You can't be serious about that.
I'm afraid that I'm very serious, Zara. I have been searching all month for a man for Rita, but still haven't found one. But then I realized that I already know someone who knows a man with a good background and who makes much money. You were just holding him for your sister this whole time, weren't you?
You really think that I'm gonna go along with a word of what you're saying right now?
Well, of course you are. In fact, after doing some looking around, I think I do remember meeting this man of yours. Even I don't remember him at all that well. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't a fatty, and I believe he also went to a pretty good school too.
I suppose both of those things are true, yes.
Plus, he must be young and have enough money to afford living in a luxury condo, so I just know he'd be perfect for Rita.
Mom, you do know that Rita's already engaged to be married, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean? How dare you try and bring your little sister down to your rotten level? Unlike you, Rita understands that I'm always right about whatever I say. There's no way that she would be like you and just not tell me she was engaged.
Do you really think that Rita's some kind of mindless drone who just follows orders? And do you really think it's okay to force your kids to go to a college they don't want to go and work in a field that they dislike?
You have no idea what you're talking about. It's the job of a good parent to guide their children to success.
That's not what I think is happening here.
Well, that explains why you are the way you are. But if a child wants to grow up into a happy adult, then they need to do everything that their parents tell them to. And if they don't, then they end up like a problem child like you. That's why I tell people that I only have one daughter, and it's Rita.
I see, so you don't even think of me as your daughter anymore.
Of course not. And I also don't think that you should be with a guy as good as you are. You didn't go to college, and now you're just marrying rich to get out of having to find a real job. I'm sure that whoever this man is, he'll regret being with you very soon.
And just what makes you think that, huh?
Let me guess. After you two got married, you quit whatever little part-time job you had just to be a housewife. And now you're just lying around doing nothing all day while your husband is doing all the hard work. I just know that there isn't a man alive who can stand being with a woman who acts like that. That's why it's better for everyone involved if you just hand him over to your sister.
Hold on a second, just why do you think that I'm not working and living off of my husband? Do you even realize how hurtful some of these assumptions are?
Do you really think I care about how you feel when it comes to any of this? The only thing I care about right now is making sure that my real daughter is happy. And I know that she won't be happy until she has a husband who's as good as she is. That's why you need to give up your man for her.
I don't even know why I bother wasting my time when you're not going to listen. Although I just have to say that I can't believe you would literally try to steal one daughter's groom to give to another.
Well, if you don't want me to take him from you, then you better just give him up. A no-good brat like you doesn't deserve to have someone so great.
Actually, my husband did graduate near the top of his class at a great university, but he certainly isn't rich. So I don't understand why you think I married him for something that he doesn't have. Although if you really want, I guess I can just do what you say and hand him over.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he isn't rich? He's paying for you both to live in that huge condo. He must make a ton of money.
I told you already that I'm the one who pays for the condo. Meanwhile, he works as a freelancer and the amount of money he brings in can really depend on the month. So that's why I pay the rent and utilities.
You have got to be kidding me.
In exchange, he takes care of all the housework for us. We have a really good thing set up and our relationship isn't just based on money. So I wish you would stop trying to make this about money.
You have got to be lying to me. If he really went to a good school, then how could he not make that much money? You've always been a little liar ever since you were little, and you're doing it again now. You're the one who doesn't make that much money. I know it. You're just lying because you don't want me to take away your man. You really are a terrible daughter, do you know that?
I told you that you wouldn't believe me no matter what I said. But okay, why don't you try searching my name online and see what comes up? I assume it wouldn't be hard to find the business that I'm running as well as my picture on the board of directors page. Maybe that'll make you finally believe what I'm telling you.
Hold on a second. You're managing a company? Someone who doesn't even have a college degree is running a company?
Well, it's actually always been my dream to be a company president ever since I was little. But you said that that wasn't a good job for a woman to have, and you never really showed me any support. That's why after I graduated high school, I wanted to go out and get some real-life experience. Luckily, I found a job in my field and used that as a jumping-off point to build my career. And now I run a company and live in a huge condo.
This has got to be some sort of sick joke, right?
I've told you 3 times now that I'm the one who's paying the rent. So I'll keep the house, but if you really want my freelancer, I guess I can hand him over to Rita. She might even be happy to finally be getting married.
Wait a minute. That means that this man isn't a good fit for Rita at all. He might have a good education, but if he doesn't make money, then all of that will cause trouble for Rita in the future.
But unlike me, Rita is brilliant, remember? She's your pride and joy and only daughter you admit to having. She doesn't need a man to provide for her, don't you think? Anyways, I'll tell my man that he needs to start packing his bags, I guess.
Zara, oh my gosh, you totally took me by surprise. I mean, your husband was just in my house and told me that he'd come to marry me. You should have messaged me sooner so I knew that this was all a prank. It took me a while to figure out what was actually going on.
Oh man, I'm really sorry, but that's too funny. But you're right, I was at work and I couldn't give you a call, so I'm sorry about that. I knew you'd be able to figure it out on your own though, so I wasn't worried.
Well, you're lucky I caught on, because I talked to Fred and then I told Mom I was moving out. I told her we were going to get married, but we're just waiting in a cafe now.
You mean you went along with it? Thank you so much, Rita.
You don't need to thank me. I actually use this to my advantage as well, you know.
Oh really? How'd you do that?
Well, this was finally my excuse to move out of the house. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to have to borrow your husband for a little while longer. He's going to help me make it, so I move out of Mom's place permanently.
You mean you really want to move out?
I've wanted to. For a long, long time, actually. But, you know, Mom, she would never allow it.
She was always so worried something that would happen to me if I left the house by myself. I tried asking Dad to talk some sense into Mom, but she wasn't having any of it.
I had no idea she'd gotten that bad.
But now, this is my chance to finally escape. And you already told her that Fred is a freelancer and that you own a condo, right? I bet that means that Mom is going to be really against me marrying this guy. I'm going to use that guy as my ticket out of here.
You mean you're really going to run off with my husband for a while?
Well, I'm going to let Mom think until she gives up. Even though she'll be against the wedding, I'll tell her that we're madly in love and that we're eloping far away.
Well, it doesn't sound like the worst idea I've ever heard. In fact, knowing how sensitive Mum is about her reputation, I'm sure that she wouldn't tell a soul about this, given how scandalous it all sounds. If there's anything you want me to do to make it more convincing, just let me know.
I'll tell Mom that we're eloping, and as soon as I find a place to live, I'll give Fred back to you. So hopefully this won't take more than a day or two.
If that's how long you need him for, then you've got him. Maybe the three of us can meet up and look for a place for you. My work's finally settling down, and I think I should be able to get some time off.
That would be amazing if you could help me. I'll send you the address for the cafe. Just look for Fred and I.
Zara, what are we going to do? Your sister has run off and she hasn't come back. She told me that she was going to marry your fiancé and then ran off. And that was yesterday.
I guess Rita isn't the good obedient girl you thought she was.
I don't know what's gotten into her. We can't let her marry this man. It'll be horrible for her. You have to get a hold of her and tell her that I made a mistake in choosing him for her. She said that she fell in love with Fred at first sight, and I think they ran off to get married.
Wow, so things move pretty quickly for them, I guess. I never knew that Rita was that kind of girl.
This isn't the time to be joking. We have to do something.
I think that you should probably just respect the wishes of your daughter and let her have this, don't you think?
What are you talking about? Don't you know how embarrassing it would be for me to tell people my golden girl ran off with her sister's fiancé?
Well, I guess I'm glad you have your priorities straight.
You don't understand. All my neighbors just love Rita and talk about what an amazing girl she is. How am I supposed to face them now?
But isn't the happiness of your favorite daughter more important than anything else?
I got it. How about you come here to live with me and then I tell everyone how amazing my other daughter is?
Yeah, no, that sounds like a horrible decision for me. Besides, you already made it very clear to me that you didn't think of me as your daughter. And now, thanks to your meddling in our lives, you've lost both your daughters. Send Dad my love. In the end, Rita never came back, and Mom only became more ashamed of what had happened. She stopped talking to all her neighbors, and even stopped leaving the house. Rita and I explained the truth of what happened to our dad and asked him to keep our secret. He understood and agreed. And after that, Fred and I were finally able to have our tiny wedding. Meanwhile, Rita is living her dream of an independent life and was overjoyed at the realization that she would get to decorate her apartment however she liked.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Taylor, is it really true that John's condition has gotten even worse now? I heard that things have only gotten worse, so I needed to make sure that it was true. He has gotten worse. This weekend he had to be taken into the ICU for his health. But right now he's doing a lot better again and has been moved back into his room to be looked after. As of right now, he's even able to have small conversations again. What? He was able to make a comeback from that? Huh? I'm really happy to see he's made a comeback. Same here. But it's going to be some time before there's any hope of him getting out of here. Do you think you have any time this weekend to come in and see him? He would like to see all of his grandkids. I'm sure that would make my dad really happy seeing you all, and it might even make him recover even more quickly. I don't want to go see him. Hospitals have this smell to them that makes me feel sick, so it's not going to happen. What? Also, for people like him being that sick, they tend to get really thin because they can't eat as much anymore, and that's just scary to me. If I were to show the kids their grandpa while he's in that state, they might be traumatized for the rest of their life. So that's what this is about. Then how about just you and your husband come to see John this weekend? Just come in for a few minutes to see and talk to him, and that should be enough. Even the doctor is saying that would be really good for John to see some of his family soon. No way am I going there. I hate going to the hospital, and Greg is really busy with his job right now. We don't have the time or want to go and see John at the hospital right now. Are you sure? Also, there's the whole thing with his health getting even worse recently, so perhaps it's time we start preparing for the worst. Do you have any idea where John's bank information and checkbook might be? Do you know how much money he's ready to be given away as inheritance? And do you know how much he has in terms of stocks right now? What? He's going to be kicking the can pretty soon here, so it's best we start preparing for his inheritance to come through. I'm sure he's totally fine just having you at the hospital watching over him, so you can continue doing that if you want. I'll manage everything that has to do with his money and properties, all right? Don't say something so messed up as that, Brinley. What do you mean he's going to be kicking the can soon anyway? Right now, your father-in-law is trying his best to fight through this sickness. He is going to make it through this and come back home to see everyone really soon. So would you quit talking about how he's going to die like that? I understand how you want to feel about all of this, I really do. But I think it's best that we prepare for the worst, just in case. We wouldn't want to be wasting our time later on with all this when we'll want to be focused on mourning him, right? You stop all that right now. There's no point in dealing with any of his money right now anyway, right? You're too busy to come and see him in the hospital, so you must be too busy to deal with any of that right now. So leave all of this talk about his inheritance be. Greg, where are you right now? I have been telling you to come to the hospital as quickly as you can. Your dad has finally gotten out of this hospital, but as soon as we got him home, he collapsed again.
Do you have any idea what time it is? I get that it's an emergency for you, but come on, it's 3 a.m. for me. Once I've gotten my beauty sleep, I'll come to the hospital. I'm sure it's just the same old thing with him anyway, and he'll be around for me still when I get up. Once things are all handled over there and I'm awake from my sleep, I'll be over there.
I'm not messing around right now, Greg. You get your butt in here right now and see your dad. He is not doing well at all, and his breathing is getting really shallow. I think this might be it for him.
What?
So please hurry up and get to the hospital. This is not the time for you to be sleeping, all right? This might just be your last chance to ever talk to your dad again.
Are you kidding me? In other words, this means my time has come as well.
Excuse me?
Nothing, Mum. Don't worry about it. I'll be on my way to the hospital right now. I'm going out to the car right now, so just wait for me a little longer.
Hey, Brinley, what the heck do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing kicking me out of there like that? The funeral is going to be starting really soon, you know? Hurry up and let me back into the building right now. I'm sorry, Taylor. There is a lot of appeal in this funeral for your son and I, so can you please just shut up and go home? Greg and I are going to be handling everything from now on, so you can go back home and mourn your husband in silence. Also, you happen to be in our way today, so please just get lost. I'm in the way? What the hell are you and Greg planning to do today with me not at my husband's funeral? I understand that Greg is the oldest of my kids, but he does not get to make the rules like that. Especially when he has no idea who all is going to be there for the funeral today. I'm sure he has an idea of what to expect, so don't worry about him. What? And what is this about today having a big appeal to the both of you? Do you both not understand that today is the funeral of my husband? Your guys' father? And I'm saying that because of that, today will have a lot of appeal to it. The CEO of the company has passed away, so now it's time for his oldest son, Greg, to take the reins and run the company. In other words, today is the day for him to make a name for himself. Huh? Of course, there will be plenty of other family members here today, but there's also going to be all sorts of bigwigs from all kinds of companies here to mourn your husband. So this is Greg's chance to make himself look good to all of them and secure his future as the next CEO. And standing next to him today will be me, the CEO's wife. I'm so glad on a day like today, both Greg and I went to the salon before this and got ourselves looking all sharp and ready for what we have to show off today. So this is what you've both been waiting for all along? You both even went to the salon together before this and got your hair done and everything? Would you please cut the crap right now, Brinley? The point of this funeral is to mourn the loss of my husband. It is not a place for you and Greg to be showing off and trying to make yourselves look good for the business. I have no idea what's gotten into the both of you thinking this funeral is meant to be a place where you need to appeal to all of those other company men. And the fact that Greg said it's his time as well now? Please do not ruin my husband's funeral like this just for your guys' selfish desires. The only person here that needs to cut the crap is you, Taylor. Your husband just died on us, and the next person in power is going to be your oldest son, Greg. Do you really think it's okay for you to be talking to the most powerful man in this family's wife like that right now? Huh? I totally understand that you still have a lot of emotions flowing through you as your husband only just passed away. But could you please pull yourself back to reality for me? After your husband's gone, it's the oldest son's turn. And since that's just happened, you are no longer the queen of the family. All you are now is some powerless old woman that we could honestly do better off without. Excuse me? I'm sure the only reason you have all that confidence in yourself right now is due to the power that your husband gave you. But those days are over for you now, so please give it up and let us take the wheel. Your days of being the ruler in the family and telling me what to do have died along with your husband's days of being the CEO. And since when have I been telling you what to do, Brinley? Huh? Tell me when you haven't been. How about that? Telling me to come see your husband as he was dying, even though I don't care for him, and telling me to bring my kids along to see him, even though his sickly body would have scared the crap out of them. Seriously, every time you tried telling me to do things, it really pissed me off. It's a waste of time to go out and see some old geezer that's about to die. Why would I ever want to do that? Did you really think that by having Greg and I there to talk to him and see him with you, he'd start to recover from whatever BS sickness he had? What the hell do you think you're saying right now? What do I think I'm saying? Well, I'll tell you. But not with words. You'll just have to wait and see, because right now I can't handle you in that attitude anymore. The funeral's about to start soon as well, so I don't have time to waste on you. I know we were just getting to the good stuff, but that'll have to wait. I'm finally going to be the wife of a CEO, and I can't believe just how much I am smiling at a funeral. What? The wife of a CEO? That's right. Remember that since now your husband is dead, he's going to be leaving a lot of money behind for us. So we're going to be taking all of that money and everything, as well as taking over the company he's left for Greg. I thought that was pretty clear to you already, though. But anyway, once he's the CEO, I'm going to be the CEO's wife, right? Did you know that ever since I was a little girl, I had always wanted to be the wife to some super wealthy CEO? So now that my dream is finally coming true for me, I just can't stop myself from smiling. I think I've had enough of you both. Especially you, though, Brinley. Kicking me out of the funeral and then taking it over as though it's meant to be about you both. And not just that, but now you think you have access to all my husband's money and his company, which has led you to grin like some maniac? You really are such a shameless woman. Well now, I'm going to have to hide this smile for the time being and put on a more serious and saddened face to trick the masses. It would be pretty wrong for me to be smiling at a funeral of all places, right? Well, you've been pretty messed up this whole time, so why hide it at all? I'm trying to text Greg right now, but he seems to be ignoring me. For some reason, I'm getting the feeling that all this isn't going to play out in your guys' favor, though. Now, I'd like you to leave the premises at once and head back home with your mouth shut for us. The CEO of the company has struck out, and the next up to bat is his oldest son. And me being his wife means that I'll become the wife of a CEO. Greg isn't even a part of the company. What? Yet you still believe that he's going to be able to get into the company and become the CEO of it right away? You must be so excited about becoming the wife of a CEO that you totally forgot about common sense. I'm sorry, but the next CEO of the company has already been decided. And of course, since Greg hasn't been working for the company at all, he is not going to be the CEO. If you understand that now, I want you to open the door for me and let me back inside. What do you mean he's not been working for the company? Greg has told me that ever since he graduated from college, he's been working for his dad's company. And when was it that he told you that? It's been 3 years now since Greg was fired from his dad's company. Huh? He was fired? Yep. He was awful at all of the work he was left to do, and that really started to piss his dad off a lot. Of course, when he got fired, it was during a time where he was supposed to be taking care of a really important customer to the company. But he cried about having to do all that work and bolted from his responsibilities. That then pushed his dad over the edge, and he said he was no longer going to deal with Greg anymore. Although my husband's first thoughts were to make Greg the next CEO someday, those thoughts quickly disappeared, and the next thing he knew, he was firing Greg. What? Wait. I never heard anything about all those events. Also, Greg has been going to work like nothing's changed forever now. Perhaps right after being fired, he was able to find some other company that hired him. I'm not sure where he could be working now, but Greg is your guys' oldest son, right? And that means he should be the next in line to take on the company from your husband. Nope. John has made it very clear to everyone at the company that the next person to be the CEO will be his son, Marcus, Greg's little brother. John told everyone that he couldn't trust his oldest son with taking on the company, so he'd be letting his second oldest handle everything next. Huh? He's letting Marcus be the next CEO? And he told that to everyone in the company already? He even wrote that down in his will. What? You were the one that told me to start thinking about all of that while my husband was still in the hospital, right? About things like his inheritance and properties? I took that as meaning I did need to get on top of some of those things, so I went and started talking to John about everything he would be leaving behind. Also, when he was out of the hospital for a day, he got one of his lawyers to come over and we wrote a new will. And you're telling me that part of the will says for Marcus to take over the company next? Unlike his dad, Marcus is a very calm and composed man. But even so, he happens to be very good at doing business and has the proof to show for it. Even other employees within my husband's company say great things about how well he does his work. For a little while, he had only been working with his dad after Greg got fired, of course, and started learning what it means to lead a company. So this was always going to happen. Marcus becoming the next CEO. But just to make sure there'd be no hiccups, we wrote it down in John's will. You're lying. There's no way. The next CEO should be the oldest. And Greg is the oldest son to John. I've never even heard of an instance where the oldest was skipped and the next in line was given the company. Well, John had no other choice. His oldest was far less competent at his job than he had thought. Huh? I'm so happy that today Marcus wasn't able to make it to the funeral. I'm sure he feels bad about having to be in New York for a business trip and all right now, but at least he doesn't have to be here when his stupid older brother and moron sister-in-law are right now. I'm sure if he was, then things would only become more messy for him. There's no way this is happening. Even Greg was saying that his time had come to me. He was so freaking excited to be the next CEO of his dad's company. Well, I can go tell him the truth right now for you, so please let me inside the building. And honestly, I'm not going to worry too much about you both believing in a fairy tale because I want to focus on my husband's funeral. Everyone else is patiently waiting for the funeral to begin, so please let me in right now. Wait. Who cares about the funeral right now? Greg and I are far more important at the moment. This is about my dream, after all. Right now, that dream is in danger of never coming true for me. So this is not the time for people to be worried about someone who's already dead. Well, if that seems to be the case for you, then I want you to go home right now. I'm not holding back anymore. I am going to the front of the building right now, and I'll let the funeral director know that you no longer should be allowed in this funeral. Actually, I'll let them know that both you and my oldest son are not allowed in here. Then you both can be escorted out by them.
Mum, what is all this about? Why am I not allowed to become the next CEO? It's not too late to make me the CEO yet. Tell that Marcus to let me be the CEO right now.
That Marcus happens to be the man your dad chose to make the CEO. He said so in his will. So I'm not going to just ask Marcus to give up the role his late father asked him to be in.
The frickin' will? Who cares what Dad said? He's dead now. Why can't you just let me be the CEO? It's not like he'll ever know that I was made the CEO, right?
What are you talking about, Greg? I will not allow you to talk about your dad and his final words like that.
But what's going on here is stupid. I get that Dad fired me from the company in the past, but I just assumed that after Dad died, you'd be willing to let me back into his company. I've believed this whole time that you would understand that the role of CEO should be going to the oldest son next. You're screwed up, Mum.
I'm not the one that's screwed up. It's you and your wife that are. What the hell happened to telling your wife that you were fired 3 years ago? Why were you trying to hide all of that from her?
I wasn't trying to hide anything from her. I just got lucky and made the money we needed from some slot machines.
Slot machines? In other words, you gambled for the money you needed? Hold it right there. So you're telling me that you didn't even end up getting hired by another company after being fired? What the hell have you been doing ever since your dad fired you?
I gave up on working and have been making all the money I need from slot machines. I've been on a massive winning streak for a while now, so I brought in more than enough money to support both myself and Bryn Lee.
You are a dad, Greg. You have children. And yet you're telling me that this whole time you've been risking your whole family's future on some slot machines? What the hell have you been thinking?
I thought that after Dad died, I'd be able to get back to work for his company. Hell, I thought I'd be back in his company long before he died. I thought me trying to act all sad and depressed around him would get him to hire me back because he felt bad. Yet for the past few years, he never talked to me, so I never had a chance to lie to him about how I was feeling. This year, he decided to get sick. It's not my fault that I had to continue gambling while Dad was fooling around by not ever talking to me and then getting deathly ill.
For Christ's sake.
Yet now I have to sit here listening to you telling me that Marcus is getting the company. If that's how things are going to be, then who cares about that stupid company? Just give me the dang money he's left for me, and I'll shut up about everything. I'll make sure to use all the money I'm getting to continue my winning streak at the casino. Did you know that I've started to go into debt waiting for Dad to get back to me about letting me work for him again? I've had to take out loans in order to keep playing the slots. If I don't start breaking even here, things are going to become really bad for me.
You've been taking out loans now?
I'm sure that Dad has loads of money in his savings that will be coming to me, right? Yeah, half will be going to you, of course, but the other half will be for his sons. But Marcus is going to be getting the company, so you can give my part and his to me. He's not going to need any of that money, right? So give me the money, and while you're at it, give me whatever stocks he has as well, right?
Greg, I have some very bad news for you. Your dad doesn't actually have all that much money left after he passed away.
Huh? What the hell are you saying, Mum? There's no way he doesn't have tons of money still. He was the one that built that company and has been the CEO of it for over 40 years. You both happen to have that massive house, and he has multiple other properties. And what about all those high-end cars he drives? How the hell are you able to tell me he doesn't have much of anything when he's got all of that?
I'm sure you knew about how your dad ran his company all by himself, right? And of course he has a lot of land and some pretty nice cars that he drove around a lot when he was younger. But over time he's been putting all those things into his company, and now the cars and land are considered company assets. He left me with enough money to keep me happy, but the rest has all been put into the company and is not included in the will.
Huh? Then, what's going to happen with all the money I owe? I thought Dad would have hundreds of thousands to give to me after he died. I just assumed that I'd be able to pay off all the loans after he died and be able to play more slots without going into any more debt. I thought this would be it for me, and I'd never have to worry about going into debt or having to work a job again.
You can think about what you need to do next by yourself. If you can't find a way to help your family by yourself, then you open up to Brinley about the whole truth and have her help you. And as for that debt, well, you were the one that got yourself into that mess, so you're going to have to try something in order to pay it all off. I might be getting a lot of money from your dad, but it's only enough to keep myself happy through my later years. I have something I really need to ask from you, Taylor. Can you please make Greg the CEO of the company? I'm sure that everyone within that company, as well as all the customers, want him to be the next CEO. I know for a fact if you don't make the oldest son the next CEO, then you'll be making the whole company look bad. Well, listen to this, Brinley. All of the employees within the company, as well as all the other businesses that are customers to it, have asked for Marcus to be the CEO. He's already been around all of them for years now, and every single person trusts that Marcus can get the job done right. But there is one very important problem with Marcus. He isn't even married yet, so what's going to happen to the company after he's passed away or retires? That's why, right now, you need to take this moment and make Greg the CEO of that company before it's too late. Huh? You're worried about what happens to the company after Marcus? I'm sure that Marcus might be good at the work he does, but he doesn't have a woman, and it seems like he never will. As far as I'm aware, he's never even had a girlfriend before, right? So there's no hope for him ever getting married now. And that means he's never going to have any kids who will be around to take on the company after him. But when it comes to your oldest son and his wife, they happen to have a really, really cute little boy, right? If you make Greg the CEO of the company right now, then there's hope that the company will continue on in this family's history. So you're trying to use your own son as a way of getting the company? Well, Brinley, did you know that you have no voice in telling Marcus who he can and can't choose as the next CEO of the company? He doesn't have to give it to anyone in the family next. He has every right to pass it on to one of his best employees, or he might even want to sell the company to someone else. So, nobody, not myself, nor you, nor Greg, has any right telling him what to do with the company when he retires. I probably won't even be around by that point, so there's nothing I can do about it. No way! I've heard about the debt your husband is in right now. I understand that you and him are trying to do everything you can to get any money left by my husband, but you need to give up. Don't tell us to give up like that. It's not as simple as you might think. Right now, our lives are on the line. Right now, Greg is in debt $30,000 to loan sharks. Really? That much? You have to do something to help us pay all of it off. This is your son's debt we're talking about. Also, I happen to be suffering a lot because of it, so as my mother-in-law, you need to help me, please. You shut the hell up right now, you complaining witch. You are both frickin' adults now with children and need to learn how to take responsibility for yourselves. I don't give a crap about that guy's debt, and I never will. Also, he happens to be your husband, so do your dang job and support him through this tough time. Back when my husband was building his company, he got into $100,000 worth of loans, and we worked together to pay all that off. So you can handle $30,000, you baby. You might have been able to handle all that, but I can't. I might be his wife, but I just can't. Then go ahead and divorce the sad loser. It's your frickin' life after all, so you decide what you want with it. Now that's it from me. I can sympathize with all the crap you're going through right now, but you have to take responsibility for it and handle it. But wait, Taylor. Are you going to leave the both of us? Aren't you going to help us out at least a little? You know dang well I'm leaving you both. I hate you guys with every bit of my heart. What? You tried to kick me out of my husband's funeral. You then went around smiling about the fact that you could use his funeral to make yourselves look good. I don't plan on ever forgiving either one of you for something as cruel as that. Yet now you're asking for my help? Absolutely not. No, wait, Taylor, that was, No, I'm going now. I don't hold any of this against my little grandkids you've given to me, but you and Greg deserve to receive all of my hate. So I really hope that you two can figure something out, for their sakes. And after that, those two idiots went to Marcus begging for him to help them on their hands and knees while they both sobbed and sobbed. So, being the kind and reserved man that he is, Marcus went and brought them into one of the factories he started to run. At first, both Greg and Brinley weren't given a very good wage or much time off from work, and they complained about it a lot. Greg would even take it up to the factory's manager at times and say that he was the brother of the CEO and deserved better. To which the manager would reply saying that the CEO gave him permission to fire those two at any time he wanted. After saying that, Greg never once complained about the job again, and both he and Brinley have continued their work in that factory. According to some rumors, that manager actually went to school with Brinley, where she would bully him all the time. So who's to say for sure what kind of hell he's putting her through right now there? Well, as for the time being, those two idiots are going to be sweating their butts off for years to come, trying to make whatever money they can in order to pay off Greg's debt.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Nick, where are you at? Hurry up and get to the hospital, please. You should have gotten a call from the hospital saying that Mom just had to get rushed to the emergency room, right?
Shut up, Taylor. Even if she had to go to the emergency room, all she did was fall down a couple of stairs and hurt her legs. Is there really even a reason to go to a hospital for something like that? Besides, I'm busy dealing with my job.
She hit her head really hard on the ground, and at the moment, she still hasn't come to. You need to be more worried about your own mother's condition over a day at work.
Huh? I need to be?
I think you don't realize just how bad she hit her head on the ground, Nick. The doctor even told us that with how bad the injury is, she may be in a coma for some time from it.
Are you serious? Is it that bad of an injury then? That means right now is the perfect chance. I can finally come back home and get all the money I want out of Mom's bank account.
Excuse me?
Recently, I asked Mom to let me borrow some money from her, but when she replied to me, she was super upset to hear me ask that. She told me that she had no more money for me to have, and then sent me out of her house. But I have to make sure that I have money myself in case of emergencies, right? So I think I'll head back over there after work and take her checkbook and make a few transfers. And if by the off chance Mom does end up waking up from that coma, you go ahead and tell her what's gone on since she fell.
I can't believe you right now. Right now, when Mom needs us most, you're going to take her checkbook and run?
Well, I'm in a bit of a predicament myself over here. It seems that the company that finally got on its feet is now at risk of going back under again. So if I can use her money to help it out of the hole, it should be able to run itself again. And so in times like this, I have to borrow some kind of money from Mom.
How many times now has it been that your company has been close to going bankrupt? You used that same reasoning last year to take over $10,000 from Mom without ever giving anything back to her.
Having to run your own company is a really difficult job. But I'm sure that some old office lady would never be able to understand those sort of struggles, huh? In my case, even when taking huge risks like I have to make sure that I win so that I can get a lot more cash at the end of the year.
What the hell? You're nothing more than a simple business owner. Yet you think you can act like you run the country because of that?
What did you say?
I know about you, Nick. I know about how you will go out and use your status as a business owner and the CEO of that company to get whatever you want. Like how you'll go out with others every night to go drinking and will charge it all to your business. Maybe because you think that you can get away with having your company pay for you, your company is going back under again.
And what would a simpleton like you know about the business world? I am a genius when it comes to this kind of complex world. I'm probably one of the most important men just in this city.
Well, if that's the case, then there's no reason to have Mom be the one paying for everything. You've already caused her enough troubles in the past, and all that just to become an egotistical jerk. You're not even willing to come and see Mom now when she's in the hospital. After all the help and support she's given you, the least you can do is come here and show your love and thanks for her.
It's because of her taking good care of me that I'm not going to come there. But that last time when I expected her help, she just got upset with me instead. So me coming now would only make her blood pressure rise from the anger she holds for me now. And I might end up killing her by accident. So me not going to that hospital to see her is all so that she doesn't have to be upset with me.
So that means you're just allowed to waltz into her house then when nobody's home and take her checkbook? If you want to help her by not making her upset, then how could taking more of her money help? She might just end up passing out again at that point.
And to make sure that doesn't happen, I'm making sure you're there to keep her under control. Now, I have a checkbook to grab. If she's okay when she wakes up, tell her that once my company comes around this time, I'll make sure to pay her back. Maybe.
What kind of a horrible person are you? Not even coming to give your own mother a farewell at her funeral? I never thought that my boyfriend's little sister could be this much of a scummy waste. Well, now when him and I get married, I am never going to even bother to get close to you. Huh? I heard all about what's happened from Nick about you and him. But the fact that you'd actually act this crazy is beyond me. You have no right to be absent during your mother's funeral, you jerk. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but who is this? Are you sure you don't have the wrong number or something? I know for a fact that this is the right number. I'm sending all of these messages to Nick's little sister right now. But just to keep you from becoming too confused, my name is Janice, and I'm Nick's fiancé. And I was expecting to become your sister-in-law here soon, but now I'm thinking twice about ever coming near you. What? My brother's fiancé? Nick had never spoken to you about anything to do with me and how we planned to get married. He actually told me to never even speak to you. But to just leave someone that never went to their parents' funeral alone, I just can't do that. And so that's why I decided to text you so that you can have the gift of listening to me complain about you. Can you slow down for just a second? I'm having a bit of trouble understanding what's all going on here, but I'd like to know what you're talking about when you say that I was absent from my mom's funeral. You can't be serious. Do you really think you can play dumb now? Especially when your mother only just passed away a little bit ago? What? I've heard all about you from Nick. He's always gone on about how ever since you were little, you've been the most selfish person he's known. How if you're not number one, you'll never let things rest. And because of that reason there, he's always had to work so hard and fight for some sort of success. And it's even because of you that he wasn't able to get the education he wanted because he could never make it to the college of his liking. What are you going on about? And when it came to your guys' parents, they always favored you over him. It's because of that when your dad passed away, you did nothing to help out with the family. And when your mother ended up unconscious, you didn't do a dang thing and had to ask that your brother handle everything. And it seems that even after your own mother finally passed away from those accidents, you didn't even bother showing to her funeral. Can you please stop talking for a second? What the hell are you talking about? All of that sounds like some bullcrap to me. What about any of this is bullcrap to you, you little piece of crap? After doing absolutely nothing for your family, you want to come and get the money left over, don't you? I bet you've even gone and taken what was supposed to be left for Nick so that he doesn't get a dime. Huh? Why the hell are you such a greedy witch? There's no reason you should be allowed to take all your parents' money when you already took so much from Nick. We'll make sure that all that money from your dead mother goes to us. So give us everything you took from her right now. You can say all you want about me, but, I think you have a ton of misunderstandings right now. And it seems that my brother got the best of you by telling you all sorts of stories that make him look as though he suffered. The only one that ended up getting everything they wanted was you. And now you're acting as though you don't know anything about Nick. You left all the care that needed to be done for your mother to Nick, and you never even showed up to her funeral. Yet now you think it's okay to have all her money? That must explain why at your age, you're still single and alone. You are the worst. Huh? Your parents ended up spoiling you too much, and now you can't even find a man to put up with your needs. But I have to say, most men don't like being together with a spoiled brat. And since you're so spoiled, you wouldn't need a man anyway, would you? Who are you calling a spoiled brat? Jeez, just when I was getting away with being able to marry a business owner and everything, his mother had to pass away. The whole time we were supposed to be getting the wedding together, he had to care for her and such before she passed. And so the only thing that kept me going with him was knowing that one day his mother's money would come to us. But now I have to live with the fact that all the money I had hoped for is being stolen by his little brat sister. I am never going to forgive you for that. You really love to just spew crap from that mouth of yours, huh? Do you think you can listen to what I have to say? Shut up, you ugly witch! You're the worst thing to happen to the family. Hurry up and give me my money. I am going to be the wife of a CEO, and so that means I should be getting all the money from his mother. So that money is mine and my man's. Huh? You're worthless as anyone's daughter if you can't even make it to your own mom's funeral. You have no right to her money. So you give all of it to us. My mom passed away 7 years ago. What? You never bothered to listen to what I had to say, so I'll tell you again. My mom died 7 years ago. Yet you want me to give you all her money now? And you think I don't have any right to her money? You've been going on about such nonsense for almost 30 minutes now, so could you stop that? You're the one that's been speaking nonsense. What the hell do you mean she passed away 7 years ago? Your mom only just passed away last week, right? I'm not sure what all my older brother has told you, but our mom passed away 7 years ago. And the one that ended up caring for her before she passed was me. And the one that put the whole funeral together was also me. Actually, my pile of crap brother never even once talked to me after that, and he didn't do a thing to help with the setup. Huh? He said that I'm a selfish little sister, did he? And that's the reason he could never do anything about me? I'm sorry, but everything he's told you and you've told me is the complete opposite from the truth. The only one that ended up being super selfish was my brother, Nick. And the one who never got to study or go to the college of their choice was me. And the reason for that is because my brother would always take loads of money from my parents without ever paying either one back. What? Well, even if I tell you all of this now, I'm sure that it's all really difficult for you to believe right now, right? I can already tell that you've been deceived by my brother for so long that all of this is lies to you. That's right. I can't believe a dang thing you're saying right now. Well, then go back and ask my brother about all of this again. Ask him how exactly my mom died. And also ask him what kind of funeral he gave for her. I'm sure that he won't be able to give you a good answer to either of those two questions.
Taylor, hey! Listen, do you think you can read the atmosphere a little here? Why the hell were you telling her the truth about everything? Couldn't you have just let her have a moment of yelling at you and then moved on from there?
I was just finally starting to relax again, and now you're here. What do you want? And also, can you please thank me for what I did? I made sure to take time out of my day to correct all the bull crap you told Janice.
What do you mean, bull crap? I had to explain what happened with me as well.
Huh? What situation are you talking about?
Well, I have finally gotten my company to steady out, and I now have myself a girlfriend. But she keeps nagging me, asking me to get married as soon as possible. I had only just gotten engaged to her, but she kept asking me to meet my mother and all that. I had a lot of things happen to me, so I wasn't able to make it back to Mom's house easily, right? So I told her that my mother had fallen, and a lot of things happened since then.
And so after that, you told her that Mom had passed away and all that other crap?
I had no other choice, Taylor! She told me that she can't meet my mom, to at least let me go and see others in my family. And so I chose to tell her that Mom passed away out of nowhere. And by telling her that you're a terrible sister and shouldn't be messed with, she would not bother asking to meet you. At least I thought she'd stay away from you.
So you just couldn't stop yourself from telling lie after lie, and now your whole life story is a lie. So it's all because of you that she thinks I'm some kind of mentally screwed up sister? A person that I don't even know about just randomly started texting me, calling me a witch and ugly and all that. Why do I have to be the one that has to deal with this crap now?
Well, that's what I'm wondering myself. Perhaps if you were just a bit nicer of a little sister, I could have gotten away with all the lies I told Janice. Why, though? Why would you tell her that Mom passed away 7 years ago? Now you've gone ahead and made her doubt some of what I said.
Huh? You shouldn't have been lying to her about that sort of stuff in the first place. But at this point, I'm not even sure what you should have done since you seem so freaking toxic right now. You know that your mom passed away 7 years ago, and she should have known as well.
Huh? Wait, so she seriously did pass away? Wait, are you actually being serious about that?
You remember how she fell down the stairs and slammed her head on the ground, right? Well, in the end, she never did come out of that coma, and did pass away.
What?
But during that whole time, you just left me to watch over her while you took her checkbook and ran. I tried my best to contact you over and over again to tell you that she had died. But you never once replied to me or answered my calls, leaving yourself in the dark about everything.
So back when you were calling me like 10 to 11 times a day, it was because Mom passing away? I just assumed that it was Mom trying to yell at me after she woke up from her coma or something. I knew that she'd be pissed after hearing that I took her checkbook, and so I just wanted to run away and ignore her.
And what you did back then will never be forgiven. You went and caused trouble for her all the way to her very last breath. And then when we had her funeral, you never bothered showing up for that. Back then, I had never wanted to think about you as my brother, but my, what good timing. I never knew all of that was just you ignoring me that whole time, thinking that you could just stay away hidden from Mom or something. Luckily now, I'll finally be able to get all that money of hers that you used back from you.
Wait, get that money back?
Mom had kept a record of all the money she lended you back in the day. But now that she's gone, I'll take her place and gladly accept all that money back for her. And after taking a good look at it all, you owe me $300,000. I want all of that back and all in one payment.
What?
Well, if your company is going steady now, then you shouldn't have a problem giving me that money, right? Now, good luck getting all that money prepared for me. Taylor, I am so sorry for the huge misunderstanding yesterday. I happened to get pretty upset with you for a second there. You have that right. For that short amount of time, you blamed me for everything that happened and acted as though I was the one lying to you about it all. Calling me a witch, ugly, and selfish like you knew me well enough for that. You really had quite the colorful tongue then. That was a bit much from me. Well, now none of that really matters to me. I no longer have any intention of being around you guys. And so if you still feel happy to be with that pile of crap, then go ahead and marry him. But that's what I want to talk about. I think that I've actually rethought wanting to marry him. So I've been wondering if you could tell me the truth about his company as well for me. Huh? I tried asking him if there was any other things he lied about to make himself look good for me. But he ended up saying that there was nothing else that was a lie, yet I still don't believe any of that. And when I went and searched through his room for any obvious things, I found some papers relating to his company. So I wanted to see if you knew anything about that. I have no idea what's going on with my brother's company since it's been 7 years since we last talked. But I will say that when he first started up that company, he had multiple times where it almost went bankrupt. And when that would happen, he'd run home to us crying and ask for some money. However, the last time that happened was when my mom was in the hospital before her death. And instead of coming in to see her, he ran to the house and stole her checkbook. Altogether, though, my mom had given him over $300,000 to help keep his company going. Over $300,000? And you're saying that when your mom was dying, he went and stole her checkbook before running? And now I plan to get all that money he took from her back. I'm not quite sure how his company is doing now and all, but I am going to make sure that every penny he took is back with me. Could this possibly mean that Nick is kind of a scummy person? I think I really did make a mistake when choosing who I wanted to marry. Well, just to let you know, I plan to sue you as well, okay? Not only did you not have any idea who I was before talking to me, but you started off the conversation by verbally assaulting me for no good reason. That really caused me some trauma, and so I'll get with a lawyer to have a lawsuit made against you. What? But I was being played by your brother. I'm sure that you don't see it as too much of a problem, but to me, this is about my pride being hurt by you. For so long now, I've had a tough life due to Nick. And after having to deal with my past with him for years now, I was finally getting myself into a happy place. But right when everything was looking good for me, you came along and destroyed what I'd worked so hard for in one small set of text messages. And now, I can't just let you get away with doing that. Stop lying, okay? Stop all of that! I told you that your brother was the one that took advantage of me! Well then, how about instead of getting sued by me, you tell me the address that my brother is living at now? He had run long and far from me, and so for the past 7 years, I've never been able to find where he ran off to. But if you happen to, A, not tell me his address and keep going on like you're the victim, or B, tell him that I want his address and help him to run even further, I'll sue you for everything you have. Well, if that's the case, then I'll tell you. He has a company that's probably not even doing well right now anyway. No need for a man like that. I'll tell you whatever you want to know about him, so please don't sue me.
Hi, Taylor. I have something I'd like to ask from you, and that's... Will you give me a little money?
What?
I know that I told you that my company was running steadily not too long ago, but to be honest, there still seems to be a few setbacks.
Nice one asking me for more money after all that's happened.
But it's because of what's happened that I'm asking. The whole reason I had to cut ties for a long time was because I felt no use in being around all of you anymore. But knowing now that Mom ended up passing away, I never expected that to happen. Now that I'm back in touch with you and you're not too upset with me, I'm so happy. We don't have our parents around anymore, so it's just you and me now, right? So let's start helping each other out more so that we can both live a happy life.
Stop with all that bullcrap, man. I will never help you, Nick. Now that you have your answer, I'd like you to hurry up and give me all the money you owe Mom.
Hey, you don't have to be so rough like that. I'm telling you that once my company is back and steady, I can get you all that money.
But you've told that to Mom plenty of times, and yet here we are with you having to pay $300,000 to me.
But I promise that this next time I will get you that money back. If you don't want to help me out now, are you okay with me cutting ties with you again? If you allow that to happen, then I'll never be able to give you that money because you don't know where I'll be. You only have my phone number now, and that's not even close to enough for you to be able to find me.
I'm sorry, Nick, but I already know everything about you now. Where your house is, where your company is located, everything. I know about your friends that you go out drinking with. I know all the customers that buy from your company. Everything.
Huh?
And now that I have all of this information, I can bring my lawyer along to make sure that all of that money does indeed come back to me.
Lawyer?
Well, I never was spoiled as much as you were by Mom and Dad. They would never let me run away from them like you always did, but unlike them, I'll never let you run from me. I'll make sure that after this you give me anything you can to make up that $300,000.
Hey, hold on! You can't just get a lawyer to come after your own brother.
And why can't I? You're practically a criminal at this point. You would always say some crap to Mom to get her money and then never give anything back to her even though you said you would. And that's why you ended up staying away from her even when she was on her deathbed. Not to mention the actual crime in all of this. You stealing her checkbook? Well, I'm going to take all of this very seriously, so you'd best be ready. I was able to get in touch with an excellent lawyer, and with the help of them, I was able to get all that money back from my brother. And due to this, the company he ran instantly went bankrupt. But just before anything could happen to it, It was sold by him, but he only made out with a small amount of pocket change. After what had happened, he is now left with over $1 million in debt to both the bank and other loan agencies. So, to start putting any sort of dent, or I guess in this case, scratch, into that amount, he's picked up a part-time job. And as for the fiancé of Nick, Janice, she was just getting to the point where she was going to leave him and give the engagement ring back to him when she realized she was pregnant. Unfortunately, this left her with no other choice, and she married my brother. But to all those around her, they still had no clue of what happened, so she keeps a face on for them to assure them all that she is still married to a CEO and will someday make it big. And when anyone she does know sees her working her part-time job at the local diner, she tells them it was her husband that owned the place. I guess those two really did turn out to be just like the other, lying their way into the illusion that they are living the dream.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.